I'm reviewing a software called Camstudio. It's a screen recording software. It's a free open source software. It's available at camstudio.org. There's a lot of screen recording software out there that you can pay for. Pretty pricey. It can be up to $300. This is free open source software. A lot of free open source software is really good. I mean, you can get things like VLC, which is a media player, for those of you who don't know what VLC is actually, and it does lots of different formats. It'll play things that I can't play in it, and a lot of other players, it'll play things that media player will not play for me. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a good program. There's Audacity, that is an audio recording editing software which I use frequently for my movie commentaries. And of course, what I'm using here for a browser is Firefox. Boom, Firefox. All of them very good. They're all freeware, they're all open source, and they work great. Camstudio is not great. I'm actually using it to make this video. I've tried this 3 times already. This is my 4th one, and each one has not merged the video and audio correctly. And when I try to take the 2 files and put them together, there's problems with the video file, and it doesn't work. I have made videos with it that worked, but for some reason, these ones are not coming out properly. Maybe because I've been bashing Camstudio in them, and maybe there's some secretly embedded code that tells it to not allow these videos to be made. I don't know. But whatever. I mean, it shouldn't do that. And that's just one of a plethora of issues I've had with it. When you download it, you get your executable. For installing your install executable. It installs the software, and it's one of those things where it's gonna try to install a bunch of junk on your computer, like bars in your browser. Like it wanted to install a Bing search bar, which why in the world would I want a Bing search bar in my browser? Because Bing's horrible. But I mean, you can opt out of them and not take them. It's just they're there. It's annoying. I mean, so just if you download it from this website and you want to install it, just be careful that you don't install anything you don't want along with it, like this one wanted to do to me. They are on version 2.7.2, so we'll just say 2.7 for simplicity's sake. Released October 19th, 2013. Today is February 21st, 2015. So it's been a while since they've updated this thing. And I don't know if maybe people have had problems with it and decide they don't want to donate money to keep Camstudio alive because they don't think it's good enough to bother keeping alive. I know I don't think it's good enough to bother keeping alive. And I want to uninstall it, but I want to do a review using it so I can, well, maybe hopefully get something that works. And because I don't really feel like installing 2 of these kind of things at once, because I got to look around now to see if I can find another screen recording software that doesn't cost me anything that actually works. And that's going to be my next little quest. It's supposed to have this lossless codec. You can download optional codec, so you can get compressed files that are supposedly lossless, but it doesn't work. Even though it's specifically for Camstudio, it does not work. I don't know why. That's pretty bad that you make a codec for your software and then it doesn't work. I'm on Windows 7 64-bit, and it's supposed to work on Windows 7, and I presume 64-bit because it's installed. But yeah, I've had lots of problems with it. Like I said, when you try to use this codec, this lossless codec, it gives you an error message when you hit record saying, cannot use compressor. Would you like to use the default? Yes or no? I click yes. The box pops up again. Cannot use compressor. Would you like to use default? Yes or no? Well, I thought I told you to use the default. So I click yes, and it still doesn't work. So eventually, it just gives me that box over and over, and I click no, and then I go find another codec. Let me open it up for you so you can look at it. the default codec is Microsoft Video 1. And being, well, I presume is Microsoft's own codec, I would think that would work in Media Player, but it doesn't. When I try to play the videos from that, it fails. And I can't use their lossless compressor because that doesn't work. Xvid MPEG-4 codec it works. I haven't tried the other ones, but this one works, so I've been using it. Cancel that. So, let me see. I had some videos that I tried recording with the Microsoft Video 1 codec. Where are they here? Camstudio output. And I'll show you. Where's sample 1? Sample 1. Okay, I just did a small region of the screen for this. And this one here is in the Microsoft Video 1 codec. And watch what happens when you try to play it with Media Player. Oh, look, I encountered a problem with playing the file. If you go to Web Help, basically tells you that it's a problem with your sound device drivers. Well, I know that's not true. One, I updated the drivers, and two, if it was the drivers in my computer on my sound device, then I would not be able to do this. This. Come on. I would not be able to play it in VLC, because if it was the sound device drivers, it wouldn't work in anything. And that's aside from the fact that that was a video with no sound, so I don't know why that really mattered at all. So that's one issue. And another issue that apparently has resolved itself, I don't know how that works in computers, because that shouldn't be possible. I had an issue where it was not saving my settings, like my video options, like what codec I wanted or anything else, and yet this time it worked. Last couple of times it saved it. I don't know what changed. I mean, I had that option checked off from the beginning to save on exit, save settings on exit, and it wasn't saving them. All of a sudden it started. Another weird little issue I found just today when I was making this video is I decided I was going to up the frame rate because it had 10 frames per second, which is very low. I think that would give you a very choppy video. So, went to adjust the frame rate, right? Now, max frame rate here. 1 frame a minute here, right? Which, wow, that's slow. So you'd think that I'd slide the slider to the left towards max frame rate to get a higher frame rate. Guess what? When I slide it to the left, it goes down to 1 frame per minute or per second. It goes lower instead of higher. Not sure how that works. Someone goofed. So I had to slide it to the right towards fewer frames per minute to get more frames per second. I don't know. I have no idea what these dopes are doing. But anyways, maybe that's for time lapse. So here's another bizarre little issue. Another issue I had was going to audio options here. Audio options for microphone. Now, I use a Blue Snowball. And when I first played this in, somehow my Blue Snowball wasn't on default input. I thought it was, but it wasn't. So I did the pull down menu, picked my Blue Snowball, clicked OK, and you'd think, okay, now it'll work. So I go to record my video and I get no sound. So I go back into audio options for microphone and it's back on default input device. It did not save the settings. Yeah. So the solution was basically to set the Blue Snowball as my default, which it should have been. I don't know. Maybe I had to change it for something and I forgot about it. So if you want to do that, go into your control panel, hardware and settings, go to sound, hit recording, pick the microphone you want, and click set default, which I've already done. And if you do that, then it won't matter that it keeps going back to default input device, because that is your default input device, or whatever your microphone is your default input device. I don't know. So that was a workaround for that. when I got it and I was having troubles, I was going online looking for videos of people who may have managed to get it to work. And there was one girl who had a video up, and let's see, she had a couple issues, which apparently she resolved them and she got it working. Somehow she had the lossless codec working. She was on an older version of Camstudio, so I'm guessing maybe something went wrong in the update that makes it no longer work. But she was using the old version and she had it working. And the only issue she had, I guess, was for some reason the registry wasn't looking for the codec in the right place. It couldn't find the codec, and she found a solution to that using regedit. She made that work. The other issue, and this is an issue that also is not excusable really, is that she had to have the Visual C++ debugger installed on her computer. Now I have it on my computer anyways because I have Visual C++ installed, but the average consumer doesn't. You shouldn't need it, and here's why I think she needed it. Here's why I think you needed it on that version. And I don't know if they fixed it in this version. I think what they did was they uploaded the debug version instead of the release version. The debug version, for those of you who don't program, who don't have Visual C++ or any of the Visual library of programming software, debug version is a version that only works if you have Visual C++ and or the debugger installed on your computer, because it's specifically for the developer to debug the software, so they can step through it while they're running it and find where errors are, make sure can see what's going on. Like if something crashes, they can run the program going step by step through it, through the lines of code, and see exactly where in the program it's crashing, so they can figure out what's going on. When you are ready to release, when you think that you've got your software working, which apparently Camstudio thought they had because they uploaded it, you change your settings to release version, and then you build the program, and that is the version you upload. That is the version you give to your customers, not the debug version. So I think that was the debug version. Again, I don't know if this is or not because I've already got the debugger on my computer, so it would have worked either way for me. Another stupid error they had on it. It's a lot of errors. I mean, it's got some features where if it works, it's a good program. It'd be a great program. It's got a lot of good features in theory. This one here, I don't get the icon, but anyways, you can toggle between outputting an AVI container, an MP4, or Flash. Flash is what you use on sites like YouTube. It runs in Adobe Flash. It's an SWF, and the advantage to that is YouTube doesn't have to convert your files, so you get published faster. So if you're in a hurry to get published, use that. AVI isn't the best for editing, and MP4 is a little better. MPEG-2 is really what you'd want to use, I think, to edit a video in a video editor. AVI is not going to work very well because it's a very compressed format. But it doesn't give you that option. I think they figure any of these recordings you just upload them to YouTube or whatever, and they don't give you those options. An MPEG-2 would be nice, but again, we don't have that option. We're using an MPEG-4 codec and an AVI container file. You do screen annotations, toggle view. I haven't tried that yet. You can do video annotations, do timestamps, watermarks. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with it, and it'd be good as long as the program works properly. Yeah, you can record in a region, which means you just say, like, I want to record a little box, X pixels by Y pixels, and that's as big as it's going to be. I only want to record part of the screen. You pick fixed region, then what it is you have a region set. You have a region that will stay that size. If you pick just region, then every time you start up, I believe I'm trying to think. Yeah, I believe every time you start up, you can pick a region size just on the fly. Window would be I just want to record in a specific window, so maybe I just want to record what I'm doing in Firefox, or if I'm recording a video game I'm playing, I just want to record the video games window, nothing else. I'm on full screen, and I had some issues with full screen on one of the codecs too, where it would be like this gray, black and white slanted picture. Didn't do it, hasn't done it again. This codec works well, so I've been using it. And this is another thing. Look, little wait timeout thingamabob, little circle, used to be hourglass on Windows, comes up for no apparent reason. Like, this thing is the most tasking thing on your system in the world. I mean, even when I'm not recording anything, it does that. Well, just in the menus. Like, I'm not even doing anything that complicated. I don't know what this thing's doing, if it's using some big mutex or whatever that's using up system resources, but it does that quite frequently. If options like you can play the IVI when recording stops, I have that turned off. I didn't want to do that right now. Minimize program, sorry. Change the output directories. I do this because I want to use my external hard drive instead of my main hard drive for stuff like this. Change thread priority. I don't know why you'd ever put it on highest. That seems like, I can't imagine any video you're making is so important that you got to make sure you're on the highest thread priority. Maybe iFile, ask for name. I'd rather, that's the default. Probably a good idea. You name what you want. And then of course you can record to flash. Yeah, you can record from a microphone. You can record audio from speakers, which means whatever sounds going on the computer, whatever would be coming out the speakers, it would record in the video. So again, if I was recording a game I was playing, I could record the sound of the game along with, of course, if I want to, my narration, which most Let's Play videos do that. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of issues with this software. I'm gonna look for something better. I don't even know if you're gonna get to watch this. I may be talking to myself because this may not output properly, but well, we'll find out when I save it. So yeah, lots of issues. If you've got this software and it works for you and you haven't had any troubles and you're on Windows 7, like I am, so therefore we're on the same operating system, please let me know if there's something I'm doing wrong that you've seen me do, or if there's something like you had troubles and you found your way to work around it. I'm not on a custom built computer, so I'm on an HP laptop, so my system configuration should be pretty common and something they should have anticipated. So I really don't think it's my hardware configuration that's the issue. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some funky thing with my computer, but the errors I found in this are just ridiculous. I don't know why I'm getting errors like I am. So that's Camstudio 2.7. You get it on camstudio.org. You can download it, try it out. There's really nothing malicious on it. I mean, it's not going to screw up your computer. It hasn't screwed up mine. I don't think there's any spyware on it or anything. It's just not a very well-made program, and that's all there is to it. Can't think of anything else I want to say. So give it a try. Yeah, so if you've gotten to work, please let me know if you've experienced similar issues. You can, again, put it in the comments below. Let me know what your experience has been with it. Find out that I'm not the only one who's had enormous problems with this program. The FAQ, none of the problems I've addressed are in the FAQ, and I haven't gone through page after page in the forums to find out what other people had. Quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, this thing should work. You should be able to use this, right when you install, without any special settings. I mean, there are better settings than the default, more optimal settings that would give you a better output, but you should be able to use this right out of the box, without having to have any advanced knowledge of computer science or anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. And again, if it's just me, then let me know what I'm doing wrong. If it's not just me, well, you can let me know. And I said, I hope maybe if they do come up with the future version of it, that they improve some of these errors, some of these problems. But yeah, I'm going to start looking for something better. So yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. This channel doesn't usually have software reviews. I'm usually doing I usually use to upload samples for my movie commentaries. I do commentaries where I riff on movies and I upload them to Riff Tracks on their iRiff page. When the page is working, it's down right now. They're supposedly upgrading it, but it's been down for several months now, so who knows when it's coming back. I even have full riffs, some public domain shorts. I did This is Hormel and Don't Be Afraid, which is some old Encyclopedia Britannica educational video. Those are the only two full ones I have. Yeah. So, thanks for watching. Goodbye.